Hey guys, in today's video I want to discuss the term empath and why I think it's a problematic term. As you probably know and have heard this term before, empath is basically people that describe themselves as having qualities in which they are able to feel the feelings of other people and they truly get affected by other people, and they're very giving, emotionally vulnerable people. Now, this shouldn't be confused with the word empathy, because the term empath and the word empathy, yes, they are derived from the same word. However, the people that use the word empath versus people that are empathetic are not necessarily the same people. It's just like the term narcissist. A lot of people like to throw around the term narcissist when they want to describe someone who has maybe an inflated ego about them. But narcissists are a serious condition. It is a psychological disorder, and it is in cluster B for the psychological disorders. But nevertheless, a lot of people like to throw around the word narcissist when describing people. And I have not really talked about narcissists online, even though I do have people in my life that are very close to me that are narcissists, and I have known narcissists in the past. I don't personally like to use that term when describing someone that may seem like they have an inflated ego, because to label someone as a narcissist is a very serious thing, and not all narcissists are evil people, and again, it is a disorder. So going back to the term empath, I see that term being tossed around so willy-nilly with people as well. But however, the thing about empath is a lot of times some of those people that may be truly narcissistic are also empath, and you can be both an empath and narcissistic. However, I think it is a problematic term because those people that use the word empath, they try to, and I'm not saying everyone, but from my experience, I've had the pleasure of meeting quite a few people, and some of those people that describe themselves as empaths are, I think, using that term to try to get away with certain behaviors. And I think a very notable figure that uses the word empath, and he's now notorious, is Shane Dawson. And if you're not familiar with Shane Dawson, he is a very successful YouTuber. He's been on this platform of YouTube for basically the entire time YouTube has been in existence. He's had his share of successes and controversies, and over the last few years he started to make a more positive comeback because he did have a lot of problematic content in the past. However, with this comeback, he started labeling himself as an empath, and very well he may be. However, a lot of the things that he has done to other people kind of express otherwise. And this isn't about me trying to say that, you know, Shane Dawson isn't an empath, but I think that he did kind of normalize that term for a lot of people and made it more accessible for people to label themselves as such. When he has done tremendously traumatic and problematic things in the YouTube community. And over the last over 6 months, he has had a lot of that scandal fall back on him for his past behaviors. And now I know a lot about YouTube stuff, but so this might not seem like a lot for some people, but right now he is dealing with some controversies with Trisha Paytas, who is another figure that has had her share of scandals. But what we are uncovering right now with him specifically is how much he has done behind the scenes that, to me, does not demonstrate what an empath is. Nevertheless, this is not me trying to bash him. I know he's had a fair share of criticism over the last even week because of this new scandal that has come out about him and just from past behaviors. He, to me, is a really good example of what goes wrong when you label yourself as an empath. And I have found that a lot of empaths, apart from Shane Dawson, because obviously I don't know him in person, but people that I have met in person that like to label themselves as an empath, I found that some of those people do resemble a lot of traits that would be labeled as narcissism. Again, I don't want to throw that term around, and I think it's very important to be very cognizant and also just be very gentle with using certain terms, because these are serious issues. But nevertheless, people that use the term empath, it just doesn't sit well with me personally, and I would say that a lot of people can relate to this. I have been told that I'm an empath before by a few people, including a psychologist. However, I don't personally like using that term, because although I might be empathetic towards people, I just find that term very overused, and also I don't want to label myself as being something that is, to me, it's almost labeling yourself as something that is otherworldly in a way. And I know that might sound kind of weird, but the way I see people use the word empath is like they're almost untouchable. Like, oh, these are the reasons for my behaviors. I personally don't agree with using things as a crutch. And I'm not saying just that, but I'm saying whether it's your astrological sign, your personality type in Myers-Briggs, socionics, whatever, and being like, oh, I'm this, therefore I can get away with this. It's just like, I'm an empath, so you can excuse some behaviors that I've made in the past, or behaviors that I'm doing right now, even though I am an empath and I feel so deeply. To me, that is very problematic, because that gets into the territory of excusing certain behaviors that to me should not be excused. And again, this is from my opinion, but I've seen that term used so loosely to the point that it is very much soured for me, and I would say a lot of people, because I don't take that term very seriously. When someone says they're an empath, I become probably even more skeptical of that person. I don't see them as being, otherworldly, or being something that is, I don't know. I don't really associate it with a positive term at this point, because of so many people, from my experience, that have used that term and used it in a way that I think is self-congratulatory. And I know that this is kind of a rant, and maybe one day, this is not something that I've researched, this is just something that I have had on my chest for a while. Maybe one day I can come back with more research and statistics, because I know some people like that. This is just something that I was thinking about for a while, and I just really feel like maybe other people have had this experience. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know if this video made sense, and again, I'm not here to try to bash anybody for using that term, but if you truly are an empath, let me know in the comments below. Again, I don't describe myself as an empath. I don't try to use that term because I just have a lot of negative associations with it. But very well, you may have more positive associations. So let me know in the comments below any stories you have about empaths or people that have used that term, and I would love to read them. And thank you again for watching. If you liked my video, please like it, and if you want to see more videos, please consider subscribing. Thank you. Bye.